Hey guys, we're going to talk about this Fura knife from Gearbest. Check out links below. Also, check us out on Facebook. We're on Facebook now, facebook.com/Bushcraft412, easy to find. Alright, now this is a pretty low budget knife. If you're talking about 25 bucks on sale, probably about 35 normal price. I actually purchased this knife. It was not given to me. It is a replica of a Two Sons knife, and I don't think that's a replica of another knife. I haven't seen anything else. Two Sons is a Chinese company that's making pretty good low-budget EDC blades. Now, of course, the Chinese don't really believe in things like copyrights and things like that. So for them to copy each other is pretty normal and not as frowned upon as it is here in America. So this is a flipper with titanium handle scales. You can see they call this the water ripple. Very nice design in this. It's a very light purple color. I'm not sure if the camera is going to represent the color well, but it's a very kind of light purple with this really nice patterning on it, which really looks nice in person. It's a frame lock with a steel insert on there, and we'll show you that when we flip this thing open. You can see it was very smooth. It didn't whip right out, but also, it wasn't really... So hopefully you can see there is a steel insert on the lock bar. It has a pretty good lockup, decent. You can see you have that very kind of razor blade style edge to it. Pivot pin is a flathead screwdriver. Pocket clip. Open back design. Alright, so what do I think about this thing? Well, we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about performance. This is supposed to be a D2 knife, and this is like a 3-inch blade. It's pretty heavy, a little on the heavy side because of the, the titanium scales and all. So yeah, what I like, it's a pretty smooth flipper, I gotta say. This is probably on ceramic ball bearings. I haven't taken it apart yet. I've only just lubed it, but doing this kind of not. It's a very smooth opener, and you can close it one-handed too. It's got a very strong detent on it, so you got to be careful. I did cut myself a little bit one time, just kind of trying to push it past because there's that lock bar on there, and I tried to push it past and I closed it on my thumb. You can see I have a little bit of a mark there where it touched the back of my hand because this thing did come laser sharp out of the box. But this is a very nice, very comfortable flipper, and it closes very smooth. Like I said, it's probably most likely ceramic ball bearings. I think I can see some bearings in there. The flipper is a little sharp. I think that's a bit of a pain. You can see it is kind of a sharpened edge on that, and you do have the jimping on there as well. Good old thing. A little awkward here because sometimes when I pull it out of my pocket and I'm fishing around, I feel like, okay, there's a lock bar, but sometimes I grab it like this and I'm like, why won't it open? So if you're not looking, it's really easy to confuse those two because that angle is very similar. But yeah, it's a nice thin knife, right? It's nice in the pocket. A little on the heavy side, as I said, but it's nice and smooth. As with most frame locks, this can be a real pain to open left-handed because you really don't have a lot of area to grab onto to open it without touching that lock bar. So that is one thing to note. You touch that lock bar, that knife just isn't going to open. So I haven't had to adjust the pivot yet. Lockup is rock solid, nothing either way. It's a good lockup on the lock bar as well. But overall, this thing's very smooth. It's got a nice blade shape. The only thing that kind of sucks is because of the flipper getting down to cut flat. So if you're trying to cut on a table, you're only going to get very limited. You can see kind of where it contacts. Very limited. If you were to put something flat against this, which my hand isn't really going to work, but you can kind of see you're only going to catch a little bit of contact. Yeah, buddy. I'll be right there. Guess we're going to be pretty quick on this one. So yeah, so this thing works pretty good. It's smooth. It's nice. It's got I really like the look to it, to be honest. I really like these handle scales. I really like that kind of purple color. It really brightens things up. I like that design on there. I really think this is a nice looking knife. I'm sure people will disagree with me, but something about this, it just has that old barber shop, old school look to it, and I like it. and it just all very well put together for a $25 knife. I think this was a good find for me. This is something I will definitely carry. I will definitely put in the EDC rotation and definitely use long term. I really do like it. It's really an enjoyable knife. Fun to flip. It's good. D2 Steel. Now, okay, so I did some testing because anytime something says D2 Steel out of China, I automatically get suspicious. So I cut 70 foot of cardboard, stopping every 10 to 15 feet to check it. Luckily it's Christmas and there's lots of boxes here. And performance on this was actually pretty good. Now on a range, and we're going to tell you from a real garbage flea market knife up to the best knife I've tested, which is an M390 knife. A garbage steel knife will luckily maybe get 10 foot of cardboard before it starts to break down and the edge will no longer shave hair or cut paper. Something like 440C or 8CR13 MOV will be more like 30 to 40 feet of cardboard and they'll lose that edge. But those are better steels and they hold a working edge for a real long time. Now you get up into things like VG10 and 154cm. Those tend to get 60, 70 feet of cardboard. D2, I get usually, I have a couple different D2 knives. I've gotten anywhere from like 70 to 90 depending on how good the steel is heat treated. Some of the nicer ones like the Ontario Rad, I think I got 90. But overall, you know, yeah, one more second, bud. So we're going to cut this really short, guys, because I am needed. It's this one here, I did about 75 feet of cardboard, and it's just losing hair shaving. It still shaves hairs weekly, though, very weekly. You gotta, you know, get it just right, and it still cuts paper very nicely. Rips it a little, you can see, because you know there's definitely a couple spots on the blade where the edge has kind of gone a little bit. So it feels like there's maybe some little tiny microchips or something like that that are making it catch up. But overall, it's still very sharp. You know, one more second. You can see the hair, it still shaves. Most of the blade still shaves. A couple spots where it doesn't, but obviously it's just more use in some areas and less. So yeah, this thing is definitely D2 steel. If it's not, it's something like VG10 or 154cm. And even then, paying 25 bucks for that steel is a deal anyway. So given the performance of this, by how much cardboard I cut, how sharp it still is, and this is cardboard, you can see, with a lot of packing tape and stuff like that on it. So this was no, I mean, this definitely, you consider like my Endura. VG10 Endura got about 65 feet of cardboard, so this outperformed that. It's a very good slicer, very good blade shape. Sorry, but one more second. And very good blade shape, slices, even though it's a thick stock, the edge is very thin. It slices cardboard very well. Very good performer, you know, for everything. Like I said, the only real downfall is you can't really put it flat on a table and cut. You just kind of got that flipper in the waist, but it does very good with drop cuts. For that kind of thing, opening packages, and a lot of control. You can hold it, you know, very firmly in your hands. Just overall a great knife. I think for the price, I'm very happy with this thing and would definitely buy it again if I lost this tomorrow.